Hey friends, welcome to the Undisrupted Summit. I have with me a really special friend, Rhett Powers. He's an industry icon. He's a coach. He's an author, and he's been on the fastest growing businesses in America with Inc. magazine. Rhett, welcome to this call. How are you?
Ian, man, it's good to be with you again. How you doing?
Great. You know what? End of the year, it's end of the year, right? You've been doing this thing, coaching people, leading teams for many, many, many years. I want you to give us the sum total of where we are, where people are, people's mindsets are. You know, what is happening generally with leadership, given so many things are happening in the world with technology and whatnot. What is your sum total derivation of where we are today?
I think there's a lot going on. I think there's a lot of anxiety about the future, right? And how do you, as a leader today, see around all these corners that you have to see around? I mean, everybody talks about AI, but what happens when AGI becomes a thing, and that's a year to 2 years down the road? How is quantum computing going to change the world? How is and then you put on top of that the demands that the workforce has on you today, the anxiety of if you say the wrong thing in a tweet or a comment, you get canceled. Even my 20-year-olds are worried about being canceled. So I just think that all of this sort of makes leadership today. There are just so many more minefields that you have to be aware of, and so many more things to think about in terms of the future. However, I also see at the same time this fight and this resilience and this desire to prevail and to move forward and to conquer these challenges. And so it's a mix. I think people are anxious about it. At the same time, this is the most exciting time to be alive, right? We've had good conversations about this before. I mean, it's an amazing time to be alive.
Yeah.
And but it is a disruptive time. And so I think the people that are going to thrive in this period of time are the people that can live with disruption, can live in that headspace of uncertainty, and can thrive in that sort of environment.
So you've done so much leadership work here, throughout the years, and what do you see has changed in which leaders are making decisions? What are some of these levers that have now changed that, a few years ago, they might have been doing things this way, but now because of something, this change that you're talking, they're like, hey, no, we have to do that way. What are some of the things that you can talk about? Maybe how now their organizations have started to communicate with the rest of the world. Maybe now they're on social media and they never were. Or how are they hiring people or something else? Tell us what you're seeing.
Yeah, there's a lot to that too, and no, there's not a one size fits all kind of thing. I do think that leaders recognize a few things. Number one, purpose and meaning are important to the workforce today. And so if you can tie a purpose and a meaning of your work and of the company, of the organization, to their work, and to engage them with that purpose and that meaning, then you can have, we always talk about culture. People talk about culture.
Yep.
But if you can tie the meaning and the purpose to the work, I think you can have a great culture. And I think the realization is that top down is not doesn't work as much anymore, and also that people do expect to have purpose and meaning in their work. I think number two, I think leaders today have a lot more data than they used to have.
Yeah,
I think they can make faster decisions. I think they have to make faster decisions. I was just talking to a client yesterday, and he said, "You know what? We're not going to do patents anymore. We're done with filing patents. We're done with filing trademarks.
Yeah.
We're just going to move with speed, right? We're going to make the product. We're going to get it to market and let it go. We're not going to spend the 2 years in the product development cycle. We're going to get it out to market. We're going to get it out to market fast.
Yeah.
We're going to be first to market." So I think that people are realizing that speed is key now.
Yeah.
And so I think those are some things I'm really seeing people embrace. And I think the other thing is there's also a realization that the companies that learn how to use the data that's available today, and they learn how to use it well in their decision making, and they let it and they let that data sort of help guide decision making, the faster they can move, the better off and more chances of success and actually survival, right? Because your competition, they're looking at how to use AI and AGI and quantum. I mean, they're looking at all the technology and saying, how can I improve my processes, my customer interactions, my customer service, my product development, so if you're not thinking about it, even if you're the corner bakery on the, down the street, if you're not looking at how technology can make you better at what you do and serve your customers better, then you're probably going to get disrupted.
Rhett, what comes through when you're telling me all these things is that the way businesses and leaders should respond now has changed. They must and should respond back faster in order to stay relevant, keep their customers, grow, whatever the paths and things are, going into the future. And that is so true because, first of all, there's so much information that's being generated today. There's lots of distractions. So if you look at a retail store, a retail operation, or a business, they now are competing with so many others, from the TikTok shop, which is online, to the retailers out there who are using great tactics to sell. Or you look at manufacturers like Zara and H&M, who are doing 2-week cycles of new fashion, and they are just so fast in innovating new product. Which brings me to the point of IP that you just mentioned, is intellectual property. The way you created it back in the day was great. You create a product, nobody's going to create it for many, many years, so you can bank on that. But now things are changing really fast, so that urgency comes to my mind. The fact you have to take things seriously and create urgency in your business rather than just sit and hope everything's going to work out, right? That's so important. It's been talked about so much.
Think about it this way, though. Like, you think about all the big Goliath companies, right? What is this? I think the stat is you used to sit on the Fortune 500 like 75 years. Now it's like 11.
Yeah.
So like the speed of disruption for these big companies. Yeah. Like if you're not moving, if those big companies don't move fast today, they're going to get disrupted. Period.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at the $1 trillion valuation companies. I think in the next 5 years, you'll have at least maybe 30 to 40, 50 companies that'll hit that multiple $1 trillion valuations, which used to be crazy. It would never happen. You've written Book of Actions. I really love it. I love the book. Tell us a couple of nuggets to work with and our viewers to work with. What should they do? That's really an action that you recommend them to become future ready.
Well, thanks for that question. Look, there are a couple things. And I think so much of this is evergreen because your network is everything. And I spend a lot of time on how I've built multiple businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses, by building a network. And I'll tell a little story about this. A friend of mine I went to school with, and this guy was a class clown, right? If there was a guy that would have been least likely to succeed, he would have been voted that in school, right? Class clown.
Yeah.
Well, he has built one of the largest real estate companies in the state, if not the largest, commercial and home real estate. You know why? Because he built a network. He went to meeting after meeting every day for years and years. He went to the Rotary Club. He went to the Lions Club. He went to the Civic Club. He went to this and he went to that. And he went to the church things. And he built a community. And when anybody, in a 3 county area thought of real estate, they thought of him. And so they'd give him a call. So he's built he built a network, and he's built a $100 million business by building a network. And so to me, and I've had the same success. We built that toy company in a relationship by relationship by relationship.
Yeah.
And so I focus a lot on building your network. I know it's a cliche to say it's, your network is your net worth, but it is absolutely true. And number 2, one of my biggest problems is saying no. I'm a salesperson. I like pleasing people. I like making people happy. So as a CEO, though, I had to learn the word no. I had to learn how to manage my yeses. I had to learn how to manage. It's a part of managing your time and managing your effectiveness and managing your efficiency,
Yep.
Which we need. So those are really two big things I talk about in the book. I mean, I have the thing about that book is it's a 52-week book that you carry with you. It's a lesson every week that gives you some things to work on. But those are two of the things that I really the big takeaways for me in the book were some of those things like saying no, learning how to network, how to keep up with that network, and how to, set up a structure where you can keep tabs on a like CRM kind of thing with your network. So those are two lessons from the book.
I couldn't think of anything better. I mean, that's really ideal. Without a network, you can't do anything. And when you're looking at collaborating, building common, grounds and growing together, you cannot grow alone. You need a network, but then if you don't have a network, you can't do it. So there's so much to it. You also have a new book coming up. Tell us about it.
Well, I'm actually really excited about this. I wrote this with Dr. Susie Burke and Ryan Berman, and we've been talking about it. The three of us have been talking about for years in our respective coaching practices how self-talk is just something that comes up all the time. And we started batting this idea around and doing some research. And what we found was when a leader has negative self-talk, that it actually impacts the team, the teams that they manage dramatically. So the book is called Fundamentals. It is going to come out in 2025. And it's about how to harness and really get control of your self-talk, both as an individual and as a team. And it talks about how leadership is affected by it, decision-making is affected, team dynamics are affected. And we teach people how to conquer the negative self-talk. We have what we call a 3C Maverick method: catch, confront, and change. We teach you how to use that to manage your self-talk so that you can build a team and a company where there's an environment of trust, productivity, resilience, and by extension, a better culture within your organization. But it all stems from the leader's self-talk. Because if the leader's self-talk is bad, I guarantee you the people in your teams, their self-talk about themselves and about the organization is probably negative as well. So that's the book.
Okay, I am going to look forward to that book. So next year, it's coming out next year. Okay, final word of advice from you to us, to everybody who's watching this. What is your one piece of advice for creating amazing, incredible success in 2025, this year, to just really power it? One thing, what should viewers focus on? It's hard. It's a hard question.
Yeah, it's a really hard question, but I'll tell you this. One of the lessons I learned the hard way is that if my health isn't good, if I'm not paying attention to my mental health, if I'm not doing the hobbies and the things that I love and spending time with friends and family, then I'm not going to be a great leader. I'm not going to be a great entrepreneur or founder. And so I'd say 2025, like, find that harmony between, I hate the word balance. I like the word harmony, right? Because there are ebbs and flows, and there's a harmony. There's a flow, right?
Yeah.
Find that flow, find that harmony. Don't worry about balance so much, because as an entrepreneur, life isn't really balanced, but you can find flow. Focus on that health, that sleep, that eating right, the hobbies, and the friends and the family. You get that part of it right, and you get that mix right, there's nothing that can stop you, because then you can be the best that you can be.
Incredible. Rhett, I can't thank you enough. Where can we find you? Where will people who are watching this find you and know more?
Well, I write a weekly column with Forbes, and I have gotten a few columns now, and I've got a bunch more coming out from Rolling Stone, and also rhettpower.com. And rhettpower.com kind of takes you everywhere. You can find me on LinkedIn, social media. Just type in Rhett Power, and you can find me. I'm pretty easy. So
incredible. And whoever's watching, guys, there's also a description under this video that has links to Rhett's work, and you can follow him and hound him and chase him. Rhett, thank you so much for your time and effort in putting this together for us in a really snappy way. Really appreciate it, and wish you amazing success in this year. And also, we're looking forward to catching up with your new book.
Well, thank you, Ian, and I can't wait to read yours. So
all right. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Have a good one.